And on YouTube, I'm going to be reacting to a clip here. Link will be in the description for it if you want to check it out without me talking over the top of it. We'll get straight into it.
But do you consider yourself feminine?
I am feminine, very feminine.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you submissive?
I am submissive.
I mean, look.
Because my profession and my success,
Are you
think I'm not?
Well, I mean, I don't think this is like...
I will say, sometimes I had to know where to come in on these. I don't know what conversations I've had prior. It's dark, so I've obviously been there a while. Maybe there's been other contentious topics prior to this, which is why it's a little maybe tense between them. But, you know, we'll try and be impartial as best I can.
Overly exposing anything. But so we have rules here in the studio, and we asked you to take your shoes off, and you said, why?
Because why do I have to take my shoes off?
Here's the thing with being submissive or even just following anybody's rules. I don't need a reason. I don't need to.
I mean, that is correct, right? In his house and whatnot. You know what I mean? Why not just do as you're requested if you want to be able to stay in that location? Narcissistic. Me.
As a woman, if you're going to be submissive, and I tell you, don't question my authority in the. I know we're not dating, but I think you should actually show more deference and respect to a stranger when you're going into their house versus like a guy you're dating. But like,
I didn't even think it's a house. I thought it's an office. That's why I didn't know.
What does it
don't
matter?
know. So
Yeah. It doesn't matter either way, to be honest. But we'll see what further excuse.
Submission comes with trust, though. What you're talking about sounds like slavery. That sounds like slavery.
No. This is when you meet somebody, you automatically show them some sort of due respect. Don't make them start from zero. I know that there is this notion that respect is earned, which is still true. You can increase the amount of respect somebody feels for you. But you can also reduce it. So I would say you always go in at 50. So I don't know. She seems to be making a used argument in my perspective, anyway.
So you're saying if you go over to somebody's house and they have like a no shoes indoor policy, you're gonna start questioning it.
We don't know you, so we don't.
You should get a judgment. You should get a doormat
right away.
If you go into somebody's house that you don't know, if you go into somebody's house that you don't know.
No. You should be complying as best as possible. To be honest, you know, it's not an unreasonable request either.
It doesn't matter about
not ask any questions. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you don't. No.
You ask questions because you're trying to understand somebody's thought process.
Wait, you've never been to a house and somebody asked you to like take their shoes off?
Actually, in my house, you take off the shoes. Yeah.
Even at her, she has the rule herself.
That's true. Why?
But I ask why because I would like to understand. Because I thought I'm walking into an office, a studio. I don't know. I walk into a house. You need to explain.
Facts.
No, you don't need to explain.
Yeah. They're just proving his point. The submissive woman would not go around quarrelsome instantly. That was such a benign request, to be honest. You know what I mean? It's not to say that being submissive means that never gets an opinion. Far from it. You know? Whole lifeblood of the relationship is communication. But that said, you know, a submissive woman would pick her battles. She wouldn't be quarreling over such contrived nonsense.
No no. If there's a rule, no justification.
But you should have at least tell to me in the beginning, hey, I have certain rule and I would like you to accumulate or respect my rule. Give to me before. I don't know you. You don't know me.
Isn't it your instinct normally to see if you have to take your shoes off before you walk into somebody's house or to somebody's property?
I didn't know it's the house.
But even if it's not, and he says, "Can you take your shoes off?" You're walking into somebody else's property.
Why?
You guys sent so many rules. However, you didn't say that we were going to be taking our shoes off. I would have wore socks if I would have known that.
She was saying like, "Oh, men."
I mean, the why is irrelevant. I don't want to keep laboring that point, but keep going back to why, and the why is not in the important part of the the scenario. I mean, I very much doubt they'd be doing this in Japan that they have.
Men are no longer masculine. Well, I don't disagree with that, but I think women are no longer feminine, and a component of femininity is submission. You guys want traditional men, but you don't want to be submissive. You want a dominant man, you want a leader, but you don't want to submit. And so we're not dating. This isn't a like relationship dynamic, but like I'm gonna make an inference. Like for example, if with that, if I see a girl being really combative and disagreeable, like if I'm on a first date with her and she's being disagreeable to the waiter, or she's kind of like questioning something, not with me, but somebody else, in a way that I'm like,
or if you go to somebody's house and she questions why she has to take her shoes off.
Yeah. That's actually a really good example. If I was on a date with a girl and I was going over to my buddy's house if I was on a date with a girl and I was going over to my buddy's house and my buddy had a rule like, hey, you got to take your shoes off at the front door, and she was like, why? I would be like, that's not directed at me. That's not directed at me, but that's like, ooh, red flag for the relationship. So
it's like a personality like measure.
Yeah, I mean, it is a red flag. I'm not sure you have to like, inject instantly on that first red flag, but I think we all know if you ignore them, you end up regretting it.
Like measuring what their personality is going to be.
And also that would be embarrassing in public. If you were to take them to someone's house and they would embarrass you by, starting this thing about taking the shoes off.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a important like if it was like a work meeting or something and you're going over to the CEO's house for dinner, he invited you for like, you're about to get a raise, you're about to get a promotion, and then you bring your girlfriend and the nice wife is like, oh, excuse me, dear, could we just have you take your shoes off at the front? And then she's like, why? Bro, that promotion is over.
If she's with her man, then she should probably turn to her guy and be like, why do you think he wants me to take my shoes off?
No, oh my.
I mean, I don't think it's reasonable. I understand, like, you should take your shoes off. I didn't have a problem taking my shoes off since I got here.
Sure.
But I'm just saying, like, there's other ways you go about it that I wouldn't say is non-submissive. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe you're right about how it comes on like you said it comes on a scale and you said it doesn't, but you said something about, I'm sorry, my brain is fried.
But when you're talking about like personality traits, like agreeableness, being more disagreeable, that comes on a scale. Some people are less agreeable than others. You seem like a kind of like a disagreeable person, but men tend to be a little bit more disagreeable than women, but not by that much.
I actually work with people and all my people love me and I have a great reputation.
Oh, it doesn't mean you're a bad person.
It's not that. I think you're trying to... It's okay. But
what am I trying to do? What do you think I'm trying to do?
I think both of you trying to walk like really high volume on my stilettos, letting go at the door, but it's okay.
It's not
I
that.
love it.
When I say that you seem like a disagreeable, I'm also a very disagreeable person. You might have been able to tell. Brian's also a very disagreeable person. Doesn't mean you're a bad person.
No, not
yeah.
bad. But I'm just saying, it's like we turned the whole subject about
Wait, into the mic.
Completely in her emotions. It seems to be about some shoes as well. I'm trying to. It's hard trying to intellectualize your opponent's point of view when when it's just emotions, though. I mean, I completely agree with what they're saying. I mean, I'm quite a disagreeable person as well. But she's, I'm not 100% sure it's a language barrier as well. I think she understands, but I do think she's just pissed.
We turned the whole subject about me taking down my stilettos at the door.
Yeah,
it's been like a 15
But I do think that in
conversation.
terms of relationships, though, it is a bit black and white when it comes
It's
to
not
submission.
reflecting on who I am or my personality or my dating habits or behavior.
Yeah, but can you see how it might be an indicator?
Could be, you don't know me.
I don't, but we have to go off on what we've seen. So
Yeah,
if we've
but
only
there's-
known you for an hour.
But if you judge me on one thing, that's because of my shoes, me asking why, it's okay.
To that though, first impressions are super important. I bet every single girl here at this table has been on a first date with a dude, and the dude, within 10 seconds, don't like this dude, don't want to see him again. You've already made up your mind. First impressions are, first impressions.
Very correct. I think men, to some degree, men are a bit more accepting. Men will generally try and, she'd have to be really bad for him to, probably not consider it. I think the way most men are, but women, more selective, they definitely know.
super important. You guys look at a dude, he might not even open his mouth and you've already decided never gonna date this guy, never gonna sleep with him. He gets nothing. So this idea that, I mean, that like women operate the same way. You guys are gonna totally reject guys immediately. If he's not on point in the first 5 minutes of the date, it's over. Jake, I need to get up really quick to check the audio. You want to ask a question for the panel?
All right, so we're gonna do.
Yeah, to be fair, I did get this clip from Jake's channel, so see what input he has while Brian's away now.
A scenario. It's a hypothetical scenario that you guys can engage with. If you were at a job, no sidebar in conversations, guys. If you were at a job interview, but the job interview was for the man of your dreams. Imagine everything you could ever possibly want in a man. That's the guy. He's there. But what you've got to do is you've got to walk in to the interview and you've got to sell yourself. How are you going to sell yourself? How are you going to show him that you're special and different?
Can we start on that end? That's a deep question.
Does anybody feel like starting?
I would just be myself, because if it's meant to be, it'll work out.
And what's yourself?
I mean, I don't know. I would like to say that I'm like outgoing, I'm funny, I'm nice. You know, there's a lot of things that go into me, but I think when you're around me, you'll pick up the vibe. And if you're not into that is what it is. Then you're obviously not my dream man, because my dream man would accept me for who I am and how I bring myself to the table.
Okay, and yourself?
If it was for my,
I mean, that is nice to think that, and I think a lot of women do think that. That is why it's projected that 50% of women will be single, childless, and that they're 40s, I think. I can't remember the exact projection. But yeah, I mean, to think that you don't have to change and that you're going to be perfect as soon as you meet your partner. I mean, I also understand you don't want to feel like your partner's changing you. At the same time, I admit that maybe you have room for growth.
dream man, I will listen to what you have to say to me, because when you listen, they really tell to you who they really are. So I will bring some questions and see, what and how we answer.
So you're going to flip the script and interview him?
Both ways. Yeah, I let him talk, I said.
You said you're going to bring questions for him?
Yeah, and I'm going to bring some questions.
Okay.
Yeah. But you said the man of your dreams, so
yes.
Of course you have to ask some
No, you
questions.
already know he's the man of your dreams. That's the whole hypothetical.
Oh, I didn't understand that part.
Yeah, so you already know he's the man of your dreams.
Okay.
Everything you could ever want. What are you going to
So
how are you
I'm
gonna sell
just going to
yourself?
be me and let him lead the way. Absolutely.
What if he sits there and he's got his feet up on the table
Yeah.
and he's doing this like Mr. Burns
Okay.
and he's just waiting for you to talk
Okay.
in like a really sort of like mysterious, handsome sort
So
of way.
I'm just going to break a joke to break the silence. Bring something funny.
Okay. And yourself?
I guess I would just be myself. That's a hard question to answer.
What is yourself?
I don't know.
Try speaking into the microphone.
I mean, this is why I think a lot of people in like the sort of red pill space do say that women have no game. They cannot riz. You know what I mean? Once they have to think like, how can I entertain this person all to bits? Other than they know it's their prime what would be the prime value to men is obviously sex. And I'm not saying that that's how men should be, because I think that stop having as much sex outside marriage, if I'm quite honest. But yeah, they know that unless they're going to start being rude, they're probably not going to know how to entertain the man in the same way that us men have to think about how to entertain a woman while we're on a date.
I don't know. I could be a lot of things. I could be goofy. I could be intelligent. It depends on the vibe, where we're at.
But if his question,
I think she still missed the point of the question, which is dream man, so the vibe would be high. You know what I mean? You would be vibing if he's the man of your dreams.
question to you is, tell me about yourself. Like, I want to know what makes you different, what makes you special, and what you could bring to my life. Go.
If he's the man of my dreams, I'm not going to have to sell myself. This is not going to be a pitch.
You don't think you have
the
to
whole
say.
presentation?
You
Like,
don't think you'd have
he's going to love it or he's going to hate it.
Oh, this is cringe, man. Yep, I'm already good enough as I am, because if he's the man of my dreams, then I'm the woman of his dreams. You know what I mean? It's a nice little escape door out of the question, isn't it? Instead of having to really think about what qualities you think you might have to show a man to make sure that you get the man that you want. think the point they're missing, because they might get a man that they think has all the qualities they want, but he might not think that about her, because the world isn't perfect like that, but she can still leverage her attractiveness and personality and whatever else you might want to be able to think of in these examples. They actually gave some proper examples on how to keep that man interested in her.
You don't think that you would have to sell yourself to the man of your dreams?
Definitely
You
not.
just have to appear. Okay. And yourself?
I really agree with all of them. And she said about the questions, I agree with that, because if he's the man of my dreams and I know what I want, well, what does he want?
Everything you could possibly think of, he's got it. So
Right.
now what would you say?
So I would ask him what he's looking for in a woman, and I would also try to be that for him, and of course, come with all my natural qualities.
I suppose she's maybe the first one that's really tried to grapple with the question, answer it
And
legitimately, I think.
yeah, over time, a room for a few minutes is not gonna let you know who I really am. We would spend time together.
Yeah, of course, dating is a long process, but talking about the first date here, you know what I mean? This is about the first impression part. It's about first impression. How do you show him? Sorry, I banged to the desk there, and I probably shouldn't have, but yeah, this is the hard thing, I think, as well. When you're trying to have logical explanations with women about relationships, is these are the little rabbit holes you end up down. And you do think to yourself, like, we're not talking about the same thing yet. Lost sight of where we started, why the question has got to the point where it is now.
To reveal that in time.
Okay.
I'd be myself. Come up with a new answer, guys.
Rona.
I wouldn't just walk in there with
whatever
a
that
fucking wig
self
on.
is. Whatever that self is, what is it? Tell us what it is.
I'm Yami. If you know me, then you know me.
Okay.
Such an obnoxious attitude. Not attractive at all. I mean, I'm not being mean about personality. Even if I couldn't see what it looked like, and I could only hear that, I would still think that is not somebody I want to continue to have a conversation with.
And if you
I
don't, you'll
don't
get to know me.
If my dream man would be sitting, interviewing, waiting, like I felt
So,
like
the idea is that
Right.
idea is that it's a hypothetical. So with a hypothetical,
Hypothetical.
it's an imaginary scenario that's designed to get an answer. So
I would just offer to be his best friend. And then if it grows into something more than that, that's cool, because I feel like my dream guy could just be my friend too, because I'm cool with just having a cool guy friend. Being best friends is the most important thing. The relationship and all that could come after, or whatever you guys decide to do. So I would just be like, let's be friends first.
Yeah, I would definitely be myself, and then just start off as friends, because maybe he is not my dream man. Maybe he's not.
within the hypothetical, he is your dream man.
Okay, all right.
Well, I'm not sure about anybody else, but I feel like this has really fried my brain with some of the answers we've been getting. I don't know, maybe we'll see what else she's got to say, but the way they are unable to seem to grapple with the fact it's a hypothetical, because this is the thing I've noticed, where whenever you compare women to something else, you know what I mean? Like, if men have compared women to cars, other animals, any object, it's like, and they even make a joke, what are we comparing women to today? So women cannot be compared to other things, so thus cannot be made hypothetical scenarios out of, thus cannot have any legitimate conversation about relationships if we are unable to compare women to other hypothetical situations to derive philosophical questions and answers. So again, just why it's sort of like almost like a pointless thing, these round tables. I mean, it's good for having a look inside the woman's mind still, but as far as being a productive conversation coming out of it, never usually the case, I don't think. Maybe some people have gone on these panels, maybe had their minds changed, I think. I don't know. I think I've seen a few of these in the past where women have gone on and some of the guys have talked them out of being harlots, but very rarely, I believe.
Well, I mean, I would just try to, be friends with him and see where it goes. And if he desires me, then he desires me. If he doesn't, next.
Man, this is aggravating, because why is it always see where it goes? If he's your dream man, why is the goal not marriage? Why is the goal not I mean, maybe not there and now. I don't know. I mean, a bit of a sketchy area, but kids would be another, you know, something that a man would be looking for, especially a lot of men these days going forward with the population rates going down, and will be lots of men looking for women that have the same mentality. Man really wants to hear the mentality. Yeah, I want to have kids. We're not getting a lot of that out of these.
You know. Okay, so if I would meet the man of my dream, first of all, I would look at his eyes, and then I'm sure I would be very shy, because when you meet the man who you really like, it's like hard to look in his eyes. I would smile, I would shy, I would be red, and I just like little bit flirt, but it's coming naturally, and we have just little topic. And I'm very strong woman, but when I meet the right man, I become very like a kitten, and we will see what will happen after.
I mean, she's almost fulfilling the almost stereotype of the Slavic woman that is submissive and whatnot. Which, I've worked with some people with Slavic backgrounds, and not all like that. It is a stereotype and not a truism as such. She either knows what they want to hear, or she is very much part of the stereotype. But I don't know. I think we've all had our brains rotted enough. I'll put it in the link in the description if you want to continue to see what happened after this point. But I'm good. I've had enough of you listening to these women, and I do enjoy talking to women. So don't think I dislike women at all. But airheads like this, I've usually never much nothing positive to add to a conversation I at least want to have anyway. Anyway, peace out.